bonjour, bienvenidos, benvenuti, welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. This being the Music Polyglot channel, you'll find good quality subtitles down there. Today we are going to have a look at Care by Beabadoobee with a special emphasis on the rhythm. If you, my friend, if you are a professional player or a very advanced guitarist, well, that was all you needed to know. That was all there is to the video, so you can go get him, Tiger. For the rest of us, let's break things down in a close-up. So the first thing we need to talk about is the tuning. This is how it goes from low to high. D, A, D, F sharp, A, and D. Also known as dat fad. You'll also need a capo on fret 2. So you can pause your video now and get that sorted before I show you the chords. Okay, now that we are in tune and we have the capo on, remember that sometimes you need to fine tune. Because it might be, your guitar might be perfectly in tune without the capo, and then when you put the capo on, it sounds slightly out of tune. So you can fine tune with the capo on if you need to. So let me play you that verse so you can see what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, as you can tell, it has two different sections. For the first section, we need to learn 3 chords. When we have a capo on, we always count everything from the capo. So if I say fret 1, this is going to be this one, fret 2, etc., etc. So I'm going to get you to come all the way up to fret 7 and place your index and middle fingers on strings 6 and 5. Okay. Then you leave the 4th string open. And then you add the ring finger on the same fret, and that's on the 3rd string. And then open 2nd, open 1st. So this is 7, 7, open, 7, open, open. And this is going to become our main shape here. So we start here, and then we drop to the 2nd fret with the exact same shape. Then we move up to the 5th fret, but the shape changes slightly. We drop the index, the middle finger doesn't go anywhere, and the ring finger goes from the 3rd string to the 4th string, leaving the 3rd string open. And on this shape, you also want to play the open 6th. Okay, so slowly that goes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the rhythm here. All downstrokes. This is a semi-quaver based song. We'll talk about what that means in a second, but you're going all downstrokes, you're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so one whole bar on the 1st chord. Then you move down to the 2nd chord where you play just 2 beats, 1 and 2 and, which equates to 4 downstrokes, and then up to the 5th fret, our 3rd chord, for the rest of the bar, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so all together that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's a 2-bar sequence, which is played 3 times. This is the 3rd time, 2 and 3 and 4 and all downstrokes. And now check it out here. Okay, so for that 2nd section of the verse, we come all the way up to the 4th fret, and we have again our 1st and 2nd fingers, index and middle, on the bottom 2 strings, both on the 4th fret relative to the capo, but we don't have the ring finger here. And we play all 6 strings just once. Yeah, it's slightly dissonant, that chord, but that's what it is. And then you move up 1 fret with the same shape, and you add the 3rd finger on the 3rd string. Then you go back 1 fret, same shape as before, and then back up. But here you don't just strum it once, you play this rhythm. And that rhythm is 1 and 2 and E and 4. Okay, so let's go through this slowly because this is going to become really important for the rest of the song. We said that this is a semiquaver or 16th note based rhythm. What that means is that your hand is playing 16th notes on every beat, even when you're not actually strumming 16th notes like at the beginning. Your hand's still going 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and so you see 4 strums on each beat. 1 E and 2 E and etc. etc. Okay. So on this chord you're going to have 1 and, which is going to be down down, then another down on the second beat, down, that's 2, then down up, that's the and, and then you're going to have E and on 3 and then 4. So 1 and 2 and E and, which translates as down, 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 up, up, down, down. And that's the end of the verse. For the chorus, so let me play it for you once so that you can see what's going on. So 2, 3, 4. You need to switch on your gain and you come to your first chord again, the exact same shape, and you strum it twice. Then you come down 2 frets with the exact same shape, and then you move on to what was your 3rd chord in the verses. Right? So that's fingers 2 and 3 on fret 5 from the capo, on strings 4 and 5. And you also play the open low 6th string on this one. So at the beginning we have those stabs, right? We play 1 and 3 and. So this is 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then we move on to the 3rd chord, which is the one I showed you. And here the rhythm is exactly the same as we had at the end of the verse. 1 and 2 and E and 4 and we're adding that and at the end, right? 1 and 2 E and 4 and which translates as down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up. This rhythm is really important because this is the main rhythm for the rest of the song, so practice it until you get it right now. So we have 1 and 2, 3 and 4 in this rhythm. Then again, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And now you keep the same rhythm. See, so you keep the exact same rhythm except that you change in the middle of the bar. 1 and 2 and E and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 4 and 1 and 2 and E and 4 and 1 and 2 and E and 4 and that's the chorus for you. Then we go back to the 2nd verse. The 2nd verse is exactly the same as the first. Except that here, instead of going through the usual it goes. So a little bit like the pre-chorus. We're on the 4th fret to the capo, fingers 1 and 2 on the same fret, upper fret, and then open on that shape. Then we hit the pre-chorus again, and then the chorus one more time, which leads us to the bridge, which is actually a little guitar solo. I'll show you the chords for that now. In that bridge, you also want to turn on your gain. Let me play it for you once so that you can hear what's going on. There you go, short and sweet. So the shape, the two shapes, is actually just one shape in two different places, right? It's our main shape, what Beabadoobee calls the Ravenclaw. We start off on the 10th fret, same rhythm as before, 1 and 2 and a, E and 4 and a, one whole bar on that chord, then we drop it to the 5th fret, 1 and 2 and a, E and 4, then back. And that's your bridge. Then it leads us back to a kind of a C section. So that C section is actually very similar to the intro. Let me play it for you once so that you can hear it. 3, 4. Okay, so as you can see, the strumming pattern turns back to going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and everything as downstrokes. Your first chord is the same first chord as you had in the verses, so Ravenclaw on the 7th fret to the capo. Second chord, same shape, down 2 frets. Third chord, that shape, so that's, you know, as we know, letting go of the index and taking the ring finger to the 4th string. How long on each? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2 bars on that last chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2 bars on this one. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it leads to the pre-chorus the first time. And at the end of the song, it will actually come back to this same section, albeit with very heavy guitars. So there we have it. What a great tune. What a great songwriter. What a great album. If you haven't listened to the whole thing, I strongly recommend that you do. If you are after tabs or sheet music, all that is available to all my Patreons on my Patreon page, so check the link in the description below. If you'd like a free lesson on this song, you can drop me a message through my website, to which you'll have a link in the description below. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima, arrivederci, au revoir.